a good day. Had a pretty good practice. You know, guys are in. Some guys are in great shape. Some guys are in average shape. But overall, with all the numbers, I thought it was a good practice.
And conditioning is always an issue this time of year.
Yeah.
Compared to last year, the fair say this is better.
Yeah, I think the whole league's better though. I think it's easier when you have a date that you know you have to start, and so you're allowed to work out into that date. You know, so yeah. Definitely.
And talk about Paul Pierce. Yeah, his conditioning just.
Paul looked good. You know, he had a good practice. I thought he was terrific in practice.
As compared to last year, Doc, I mean, is it refreshing to know that you got a healthy Paul Pierce to start things off?
Yeah, but we want to make sure it's for game one, not for the first day of preseason. Or that's the key. Is game one is healthy.
Talk about the benefit of this team being able to work out together this summer.
I think it's huge. You can see, obviously we have a lot to teach them, but you can see that they've played together, and I think that makes a big difference. I think you guys want to talk to Kevin, don't you?
Yeah, we still have a few more.
Okay, damn.
Jeff Green, how do you look his first training camp with you guys?
Jeff looked great. Actually, he had one of the better practices, and I thought his conditioning was phenomenal. So I thought that was great.
Is that a challenge of sorts for you, Doc, the conditioning with him?
No. Jeff is just as healthy as everybody else. So he has no restrictions or anything like that, him or Chris. I mean, Chris, we got to remember, had it 3 or 4 months after Jeff. So he would be the one, if we're going to worry about someone, it would be him. But neither one of them have any restrictions. They're fine.
Outside of the basketball side of things, with having those guys on the floor, how nice was it just for you to see them back on the floor?
It was just good to have them on the floor. I mean, everybody looked good again. It was just it was the first day of practice, and we got a lot in. Didn't fall behind today in anything. Everything that we had for coaches' notes to work on, we actually worked on, and that was good.
And it's still just the first day, I understand that. But for Darko, what did you see? Early impressions of him?
It's just too early. It's one day. He had good day moments, he had bad moments like everyone else. So I'm not going to even think about judging anybody after one day. So. But he has size. He has skill in a lot of areas, so I think he can help us.
Is it fair to say, from your perspective, I know this, but do you get the sense that he's kind of gotten past that? I was a number 2 pick.
I don't. Like I told you yesterday, I don't. Who the hell knows? That's too deep for me. I'll let you stay deep on that. I have no idea. We'll find that out probably at the end of the season, and we'll know whether he's helped us or not. I don't think, what happens if he struggles all year and then gets it in the playoffs and plays great, So we're just going to keep letting him go at his speed, and whatever happens, happens.
A trip like this in high school, they talk about it as a bonding thing.
Yeah.
Where they can come together.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's always good. Whenever you can get a team away, from all distractions, even though there are some over there as well, as far as just doing, signings and whatever they have them over there, it's still good. Guys have to ride the bus together instead of driving individual cars to practice. You're all on one bus, so guys get to talking. You kind of figure out just by the dynamics of travel who's going to be around who. So you get to learn a lot about your team.
Doc, Paul talked a little bit about his minutes this upcoming season, and he says if he's hot, I can't take me out. So
I'm all for it. Yeah. Paul's a gym rat. Paul's a guy I've never really worried about with minutes, but I'm going to watch his minutes. Obviously, if we can keep Rondo's minutes down, we will. Or make Paul's minutes down. Doesn't mean we will, but I'm saying it would be nice. I like our bench. Not today. They didn't perform very well against the starters, but I will like our bench.
You said you're not worried about Paul's minutes, but in the past you talked about playing Paul and Ray more. How much does Jeff Green's presence here this year maybe allow you to finally reel Paul back in just a little bit?
Yeah, it helps, and we may play those two together too at times. So the good thing about our lineups is we got a lot of different lineups that we can throw at people. But the most important thing, if we do that, we have to be good at those lineups. And having Jeff to be able to take some of Paul's minutes away would be great. Having Jeff to play 4 at times would be great. Having Jason to play 1 and 2, Courtney the same thing. It just gives us a lot of flexibility.
How do you balance that? How do you throw those lineups in, mix them up?
Well, we just slowly do it. You get your first lineup, right first, and then you work on the second one and the third, and it's a building process.
Your first game is in less than a week. How much do you expect to take out of that, or is it just too soon, too quick of a turnaround?
Well, I won't take much out of that. And we're playing two teams that, from Europe. We're going to play the hybrid rules, half U.S., half FIBA. So I'm not going to take a lot. I look at that as 2 games of practice. We get to do some things. I may play zone one whole entire game. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do.
How much did Jeff hanging around last year mean to you as a coach? And I know that you go back with him longer than just with the Celtics.
It meant a lot. I mean, it meant a lot. Number one, he wanted to be here. He had some suitors, and he really didn't listen to any of them. I know it because his agent is my son's agent. So it never failed when I was talking about Austin. Somehow we got back on Jeff. He was frustrated. I thought David Falk was at times because Jeff didn't want to hear anybody else's offer. That was nice. He knew where he wanted to go, which I think is refreshing. And this is where he ended up.
How close are you? I know you're close with a lot of your players, but obviously he played with your son. He's got a relationship with friends with different people in your family. How close are you guys?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we almost have the coach-player relationship still. It's just a guy that I trust. He trusts me, and I think he's very comfortable here. And I think he really wants to play well here. He feels like the first time he was here, that was not the Jeff Green that he knows he is. So he just wants to be better, and he wants to really help this franchise.
Is it easier in some respects to coach a guy when you have that kind of relationship, that kind of bond?
I think so. I don't know. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. At the end of the day, you still got to tell him the truth all the time. So, but Jeff is so respectful. He's not a. I don't think if it was me or anybody, I don't think he's a hard guy to coach. He pretty much does what you ask him to do, at least tries.
How effective that Europe trip 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Was that significant?
Yeah, that one would be better than this one because the way this one's kind of choppy.
Yeah.
But it was great, especially with that group. That was an entirely new team. So I thought that you couldn't have scheduled had better timing as far as the trip. But this won't be bad. I mean, this will be good too. And hopefully we can use it the same way.